So, what advice can a 25-year-old give you about being 25 and actually having a pretty good life? The answer is, guys, all my life I've been a little weird. When I was a kid, all my friends were older. When I was in high school, they were basically seniors. When I was in college, I spoke to professors most of the time. And I spent my life basically just reading books, knowing things, and doing things that the average 25-year-old does not do. My life has been investing. My life has been buying a home, paying it off in cash. My life has been basically setting up retirement before I'm anywhere close to 65 years old. And that's why I can say today, I've accomplished what it takes someone on average over 30 to 45 years of work, and I've done it in about 6 years of solid, concentrated work by not doing a lot of the dumb stuff you hear people saying, I'm 20, 25, I do this, I do that, I'll figure it out later. I never did that. What I like to do is basically handle my business now. But there is one thing, as you watch this video, I want you guys to keep this in mind. You have to understand, in the end, whatever I say here doesn't matter. This stuff applies to me, it worked for me, it might work for you, but overall, whatever you choose to do, just try it out. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. But at the end of the day, make your own choices, make your own decisions. One thing I struggled with a ton when I was growing up was basically because all the people I knew were so much older, I thought they were also so much wiser. But in reality, you can have a lot of ignorance in someone with gray hair. And what I mean is, don't just take what I say as an absolute truth because you see me on YouTube, I have a lot of subscribers. No, test it out for yourself. The truth is the truth, and it will be the truth, okay? So I'm not worried about it. But test everything out for yourself, and don't try to mirror somebody else's lifestyle. Create your own life, okay? That's the most important thing in this video, that it's not even about this video, but I want you guys to understand that. Now, the very first thing is off the bat, I'm gonna sound like one of those people that come into the classroom and tell you this, but overall, first thing is just don't do drugs. It's not worth it. I've tried some things, okay, here and there, and it's like, I tried it and I was like, this is so stupid, it makes no sense. And then I've had friends that we tried it together for the first time, and the problem was that I stopped the first time. I was like, this is stupid, I'm not gonna spend money on this, makes no sense, but they kept going. And that became their lifestyle. And there's this saying that says basically, the change of habits are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. And I have friends today that are basically full on locked on to things like that, and it makes absolutely no sense. So overall, there are some things out there, like the Bible says, that you can do anything in this life, but overall, some things are just not worth doing or trying. So some things I just don't get involved in, some things I don't try, not small things, what, nothing, just it's not worth it. If it doesn't benefit you in some way, what's the point of actually partaking in that activity? Number two is, don't waste your 20s. You hear this all the time. Change that mentality. 20s are not for having fun and exploring and all this stuff. 20s are for building a foundation. What you do today in your 20s, which by the way is 10 years, a long time, okay? 10 years is a long time. I always thought about that. I was 19 years old. I graduated college around like 20, 21. And they were like, don't worry that much. You're in your 20s. I'm like, no, I don't want to be like you when I'm in my 40s or 50s. It makes no sense. I'd rather spend my time locked in and focused now, building something. So by the time I hit 30, I just don't have to worry that much whatsoever. But lock in. Your 20s are for building a foundation and figuring things out. Every single time you fail, it's an opportunity to figure out something, okay? What's this guy's name? Benjamin Franklin, I keep forgetting the name, but the guy that invented the light bulb, when he failed 10,000 times with that light bulb, he just found 10,000 ways that it wouldn't work. That was his mindset to continue going on, okay? So don't waste your 20s. Number three, become disciplined. I grew up with a very free lifestyle. My mom let me do anything. I didn't have any bedtime, I didn't have to study, I didn't have to really do anything whatsoever, and what I did with that freedom was absolutely nothing. I just basically stayed in my room all day. But I learned that what I craved the most as an adult was disciplined. I craved limitations, I craved routine, I craved knowing exactly what I was gonna do that day. And that's what I'm being able to do today. I've been able to create something that makes sense for me. So the disciplined ones in life, like Eliud Kipchoge says, this is a marathon runner, and you will hear me say a lot of names because overall, guys, I study people. And that's what I do. And my whole goal is that I take the good, I leave the bad, and if I don't have to go to 20 years of struggle to learn that mistake, I will learn it today. And that's how I become what I am today, okay? But he says, the disciplined ones in life are the ones that are free. The best time to plant an oak tree was 25 years ago. The second best time is today. That's the idea. Learn to be disciplined. Learn to set, for example, when will you wake up? What will you eat? What will you do that day? Have a schedule. All these things make for a better life. Now it depends, because I know someone that doesn't like fix stuff and she does great. But overall for me, routine works best. So you got to know exactly what works best for you. Number 4, learn the rules of money. One thing I learned is that in life you're not stupid. I think it was Edgar T. Harv. He taught me this. He said, it's a great book. It's called The Secrets of what is it called? The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. There you go. And he says, in life, Tommy, you're not stupid. There are just things out there you just don't know. So when I was broke and I had no money and I was in debt and all this other stuff and it just made no sense, it was because I just didn't know the rules. So you can make fun of someone that's playing Monopoly all wrong, but if they don't know how to play, what do you expect? You know what I mean? So learn the rules of money. Get some books on money. And the principle of money is, okay, spend less than you make. Spend less than you make. Don't get into debt, okay? And then invest some money and think long term. When you get down to the principle of money, it's that simple. Most people don't get wealthy because to spend more than they make, they're gonna do crazy amounts of debt and they're always chasing something else. Seek the basics first. Manage that. Shelter, utilities, grocery transportation. Manage those 4 things first and then you worry about everything else you want in life. Now, number 5, exercise. In my 20s, I've been the largest about like 215 pounds. I think maybe even a little bit more. I'm about 165 pounds right now, walking weight, maybe 166 every now and then. But learn to exercise. Learn to take care of the machine. If the machine, basically, you only get one body, okay? Warren Buffett says it all the time. In life, you only get one body and one mind, okay? And overall, you got to take care of it. It is your maintenance routine. So get in at least 30 minutes, 1 hour exercise per day. And exercise does not have to be you in the gym, basically snorting protein. No, it can just you be doing something you enjoy doing, whether it's ping pong, like Jordan Peterson, or for example, whether it's walking, or for example, whether it's running. I love running, I like the gym, and I just basically do those things because that's basically what I like to do. I like to be able to do something I don't have to think about other people to actually do. So when I run, sometimes with friends, but I really just need some sneakers, go out for a run. If you like basketball, play basketball, but find something to exercise. Exercise and take care of the machine so that way it can eventually take care of you later on. That doesn't make any sense, but it sounds cool. Now, number 6, okay, the most important decision after picking Jesus, for example, and by the way, I'm a Christian. The second one is basically the person you choose to marry. I mean, that's the most important decision in life you're going to make. And you're probably thinking, Tommy, how do you know that? You're not married yet. The answer is, I know because that's that one factor that I see every single time. I saw that with Bill Gates. I saw that with Warren Buffett. I saw it with Dave Ramsey. I see it with all these people. The person you choose to basically marry, you will spend the most time with, aside from spending the most time with yourself alone. But with that person, it will be everything, okay? So the person you marry is the most important person out there. So take the time, read books on marriage, on qualities to look for, on who you need to become to attract those people. All those books are amazing and fundamental, okay? So when it comes to marriage, it's not like something you should take for granted. It's very serious. And the Bible says, I think in Proverbs, it says, living with a person that you don't want to live with is like hell on earth. Like, you do not want that, okay? So as far as, for example, when it comes to marrying the right person, whether you're a female or a male watching this video, make sure you marry the person you need, not the person you just want with your eyes, okay? Because whatever you're looking at right now, son, it is not gonna last forever, okay? So worry about like the qualities, the character, the goals, having things that are in line that actually make sense. I think Dave Ramsey says you wanna have 4 things settled, which is basically money, kids, religion, and also I think in-laws. Those are the 4 things that you gotta kind of agree with and kind of know exactly how you're gonna deal with them. You don't wanna marry someone that's a spender and you're a saver, but you don't know that. Someone that doesn't wanna have kids, but you wanna have kids, different religions, and basically in-laws don't get along. You know, you need to have all those things in synchrony. But read books, understand, and learn about that. Number 7, be relentlessly patient. That's one thing. When you're super young, like we are, because I'm still 25. By the way, this will be my last year as a 25-year-old. And that's why I'm making this video now. You have to be relentlessly patient. And everyone thinks that patience is just waiting. Patience is not waiting. Patience is an activity. Patience is doing something, knowing there will be a result, but being patient enough to actually wait until you actually get that thing. That is patient. Whenever I think about this, I think about, for example, the story of the turtle and the hare, and they're in this race, and people are saying, wow, this turtle is so patient, it's so consistent, and it's so this and that. It's going slow, but it's going to get there. That turtle is relentless. It is going maximum speed, okay? But it's just slow. It's just what it is, okay? So whenever you think about being patient, think about being relentlessly patient, going after your goals, but knowing it takes time to achieve them and not doing stupid mistakes to actually get there faster than it actually takes. I think it's Albert Einstein. He says, things should be as simple as they are, but no more simple than that. Okay? It's that simple. Some things take 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, but you can't make a 10-year goal in 3 months because you kind of want to do it, okay? Things take time. Learn that. Then you have, for example, number 7. Number 8. Maybe number 7 should be learn to read, Tom. But number 8 is try and then find out. Everyone wants to know exactly what their passion is in life or what they're here to do, whatever. I learned that that's all BS, honestly. We all have gifts and goals and things we're very good at or whatever, but overall, the only way you find out what you're good at, it's not like you're born knowing it, like Warren Buffett or any of these people. You have to try different things out to figure out what you're good at. And that's all it is. It's that simple. The big problem is that we're taken from high school where they don't teach you anything about what you're good at, just give you what everybody else gets, and then you're put into college to make a decision on what you want to do for the rest of your life, but you haven't tried anything else yet, okay? So it makes no sense. So you want to spend a lot of time developing your qualities, your skills, and asking your friends, hey, what am I good at? Am I a good teacher? Am I a good speaker? Am I a good singer? Am I a good this or that? And they will tell you, I love singing. I'm terrible at it, so I don't do it. So look for these 3 things. Something you're good at, can make you money, and you also like it, okay? Those 3 qualities are super, super, super important. But you only find out what you're good at by trying different things out. Like mom says, okay? The only way you know if you don't like broccoli, Tommy, is by trying it out. Till this day, I have not tried it, and I'm not interested, okay? But that's the concept, okay? Now, number 9 is don't be greedy. The person that serves the most makes the most money. I learned that. When I had a greedy mentality, which is I'm gonna do this so I can make money, never worked. When I had a mentality that I'm gonna make a video every single day to try to help someone understand something about money and finance and just help them spark something in them, everything changed. Because if you think about it, right? Life overall is about service. There are people that are rich and very greedy, that's fine. But for the most part, when you provide a service to somebody else, that's when things start to flow. So think always service. What can you do for somebody else? And when you're the best at that, the money comes automatically. That's hard to understand. It's hard, trust me, I know, but it works. It is what works. Now, number 10 is read a book a week or a month. Knowledge is literally so important. And I think Proverbs 1, it says knowledge starts with the fear of God first. And once you understand that, you learn to respect God and to walk in, for example, in fear, in the sense that you don't want to sin because you know God is like just and you don't want to go to hell, obviously. But overall, the idea is that's like biblical knowledge, the true knowledge. But when it comes to, for example, knowledge as far as, for example, learning about finances, about romance, about money, about lifestyle, about culture, about happiness, there are just so many things in life you want to learn about, and you won't do it if you don't read. Every single problem that you have in this life, somebody else has had it before, okay? I learned it a long time ago. I think it's Jim Rohn that says that. And it's true. So, and somebody already wrote a book about it because they know they can basically monetize it and make money off it. So why not? Like, it's my problem. I solved it. I'll teach you. You pay me. You get something. I get something. That's service, okay? But overall, it's awesome. So learn to read. Most people that graduate high school and college, they never read again. But they know Netflix, their favorite shows, favorite series out there. It's stupid. You want to learn to read. Get used to it. When I first started, I couldn't read any books. It was boring. So I basically listened to audiobooks all the time when I was going to work, something like that, and it helped me out a ton. But read at least a book a month. That's 12 books a year. That's 12 more than everybody else does, okay? And that's going to change your life forever. And eventually, reading can become your new entertainment. Because if you think about it, the average person spends like 8 hours a day or 4 hours a day, like on the TV. 4 hours a day on a book, that's a whole book, okay? So it can change your life forever. Reading changed my life. Knowledge changed my life. Knowledge to me is a great equalizer, because once you know, and no one can take it away from you. Now, number 11 is garbage in, garbage out. I used to listen to a lot of stupid stuff, like whether it was music, whether it was like watching certain things on TV, whether it was like just things or being around people, so on. Like literally garbage in really is just garbage out. So when I would hear certain music about, yo, money, 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 like I thought about was money, you know what I'm saying? When I would hear like be around people that was just like negativity, life is hard, everything's bad, things are gonna get worse, I was like, oh my God, things are really bad, you know what I mean? But when you think about that, garbage in, garbage out, it also means when you have good people around you, consume good things, things that help you, it also means what you give out is gonna be good too. So protect yourself at all times. that's by Trojan. Because I'm mentioning so many names here and ideas, because guys, none of these ideas are actually mine. It's just really like a combination of things, okay? So even that one, that's one I learned from that, okay? All right, so then you have, for example, protect your circle. Remove the weeds every now and then, okay? So this means obviously as you evolve, as you grow, you will not be able to take everyone along with you. And to understand the reason why that is, to understand why you learn something and you try to teach it to somebody else and they just don't get it, not right now, you cannot understand that. Okay, it's impossible. So all you can do, like Jim Rohn says, is you keep walking, okay? And eventually, if they come by and they need your help, you help, because that's service. But overall, what I mean is, you know, as I grew older, as I got smarter, as I wanted different things, the friends I had in my childhood are not the friends I have today. I had to become very selective with my friends. And friends that I had like such a close, intimate relationship with, I had to cut off, because it just didn't make any sense anymore. So you have to make hard decisions and protect your circle at all times, okay? That's UFC. And 13, always remember, you can always do both. I think people have this concept where, Tommy, I gotta focus on money, I can't do relationships right now, and I can't do exercise right now. No, you can do both, or 3 or 4, okay? It's better to go slow, but do it right, than rush and do things wrong. It's not what you want to do. I remember when I was so crazy about money, you hear all these entrepreneurs saying, oh, you know, you could just money, you know, just forget about relationships right now. No, no, no. And you see that people that are very wealthy today say, I got married very young. We've been married for like the past 20, 30, 40 years, and it worked out great. It's like one of the reasons why I'm here, okay? So overall, always think both. You know, do you want the wife and the money? I want both, okay? Do you want the car and the house? I want both. So you kind of figure out like, do you want your health and wealth? I want both, you know? So you got to figure out a way, how do you get both? And those are intricate problems, but they have solutions. Just because something's hard to do doesn't mean it's impossible, okay? So that's the thing. In life, people will tell you, that's too hard to do. Doesn't mean it's impossible. And if you want an easy life, you do easy things. If you want a better life, you're gonna do things that other people are not willing to do. Then you have, for example, number 14, learn, decide, and live with the decision. This is something that I had to learn. You know, so whenever I learned something and decided to actually do it, and then I had to decide, for example, to live with the consequences. That was hard. So a lot of the decisions that I made were never really my own. I made decisions that other people told me, and then I kind of felt like if it didn't work, I was like, oh, that's not really my fault. But I've learned to kind of make my own decisions and say, whether it works or it doesn't work, doesn't matter to me. It's the consequence, and I'm willing to live with it. Because in life, you're an individual, I'm an individual, but you have to make your own choices, okay? And that's super important. So that's why I tell you, don't believe anything I say in this video. Go try it out, research, you add what you like, you take out what you don't, and there will be consequences, because if I tell you, for example, do both, and you're like, I'm gonna do half both, and if it doesn't work, you know, it's your fault, but then you keep adjusting, okay, and you make it work for yourself. That's the idea. 15, follow God. I mean, to me, that changed my life forever. About a year ago, I was 215 pounds, then I got baptized, all this stuff. My whole life changed, guys. Like, it changed a lot. Everything got a lot better, like a lot better. So to me, that's massive. That's like, I gotta put it on this list, and that's why I put it on this list, okay? Number 16 is, know what really matters. Money's cool. Cars are cool. Freedom's cool. All the stuff is cool. But overall, one of the most important There's a TED talk that I watched a few days ago, and they were like, when it comes to happiness, they did an experiment over 70 years to track people, and they were like, when it comes to happiness, the one factor is relationships. That's what matters the most. People don't talk about money when they're dying. Don't talk about the cars they have. None of that stuff matters. What really matters at the core is just relationships. So do you have any friends? People that you're close with? You can share secrets? Are you part of a community? Do you go to church? Do you go to something? Are you a part of something? Community is so important when it comes to, for example, the life of individuals. Because at the end of the day, we are social creatures as humans, and that's super important. So yeah, remember what the important thing is. All the money stuff is cool, but at the end of the day, relationships is what matters. And remember, you can always do both. Figure out a way to do both. Number 17, invest early. That's one of the most important things. Everyone says, I don't have enough to invest. The money's not enough. And I spoke to one of my brothers earlier, and he was like, Tommy, just don't have enough money. And I broke down his budget, and I was like, there's an extra $10,000 here, like not in pesos. And he's like, you spend it, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, money's here, bro. Like, it's here. You got to figure out what you want to do with it. You're broke, but you don't have a budget. You don't have a plan. And you're just basically saying, I need more money. But you used to make more money before, and now you used to make less money before, and now you make more money, and you're still broke. So more money will make you broker because it doesn't change. There's this thing called the Pareto principle, and it kind of says, the more money you make, okay, the more you spend. It's that simple. So unless you have a plan and a mindset shift, it never changes. So you got to learn how to do with what you have first. So that's why I say invest early, invest first, invest fast. So don't be risking your money like crazy. What I'm saying is, when you get paid, the first thing should be handle your investments. Do it early on, whether it's a small amount, a large amount, doesn't matter, and do it fast. Do it the minute you get the money. Whenever I get paid, 10, 20% gets sent over to my Vanguard investment account, and that gets invested automatically. Every single time. I don't think about it. It's automatic. It's a habit. It's what's being done. Okay? It's a part of my life. My routine. That is it. And then what's left over, then I can spend. Okay? Then I can spend. Then you have, for example, number 18. Guys, I'm not good with numbers, okay? Number 18. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. I learned that lesson not just with money and opportunities and businesses and all those like stuff, but also in relationships. Like, if something is usually like so easy to actually get, and you kind of just skip a bunch of steps and you just go straight head in and you don't really think, and it can be very risky and very dangerous. So one thing I say is, the truth is the truth. Gold is gold. It will not change, so what's to rush for? So whether it comes to I should say this because you have to be smart. There will be opportunities in life that will come, there will be few of them, and you will have to take advantage of them. But before you can do that with your conscience intact, you have to have, for example, a lot of confidence, which comes from learning, and learns from knowing what you're talking about. So every now and then the market will go down, and I will invest a lot of money fast. That's an opportunity. Take advantage of it. But when it comes to other things, for example, say a relationship, a girl, and you're like, wow, I like that girl a lot. It's been 2 days. I want to marry her. Like, that's probably not a good idea, okay? So certain things you kind of just have to wait and just see how they develop, and then take your time with it, okay? And the truth will stay the truth, okay? That's what I say when it comes to all those things. So learn that. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Somebody's telling you Bitcoin, put your money in it, you're a millionaire by tomorrow. No one's done that before, but one guy did, with kind of like the lottery thing, right? And you're gonna do it too. Doesn't sound real? Probably not good, okay? Number 19, life is not fair, but you play with the cards you're dealt. I've learned that, my life, when I look at my life, I'm like, it's my life, so like, to me it's kind of normal. But when I compare it to somebody else, kind of like, their life was like this. My life was like whoopity, right? Like crazy all over the place, but it's my life. And the thing is, in life, you get cards. You deal with them, you use them, and you play the game. But some people, they get cards, and they're like, I don't want these cards. I'm not gonna play. Well, you're gonna play either way. You know what I mean? What you actually get out of life is up to you. So in the end, life is hard. It's not fair. Good things happen to bad people, bad things happen to good people. It's a part of the game though. But you learn to live and adjust as times go. But the idea is you do good and eventually, usually things kind of work out for the better, okay? That's the idea. Now, number 20, and the last one here is, envy is not worth the energy. And envy to me is whenever you look at somebody else and you're like, I wish I had that, or that person doesn't deserve that, that should be me. That, you know, like all those feelings of resentment to somebody else. Like when I was like 19 years old, I remember I used to look at like Sam Shepard. This was a guy that was under Casey Neistat, and I was a daily vlogger back then, and I was like, wow, if I had like Casey Neistat and he could basically talk about my channel, like it would blow up and it would be so cool, like I don't have any help. And that was envy in a sense, right? But then you kind of learn like, who cares? Like, what does that do for me? So you kind of learn to kind of say, like, as I develop, I was kind of like, you know, that's awesome. He made that connection. They have their relationship, they grow together. And I'm so happy that did not work out for me, because I would have been very miserable making daily vlogs, because that's not what I like to do. But overall, when you look at somebody else and what they achieve, look at it as that's something I can possibly do because someone else did it, and why wouldn't I be able to do it? And be happy for that person. Envy is one of the sins that make absolutely no sense. It's like, it's just, why are you taking part of it, okay? It doesn't help you, makes you feel bad, and it's just terrible. But overall, guys, those are 20 things that I learned as a 25-year-old, and I'm teaching you guys before I become 26 years old. Because once I'm 26, obviously, same thing, okay? But overall, if I miss anything, check the description down below, because I have this list down there too. And as always, guys, we made it all the way to the end of the video. Comment down below, I made it, so I know you made it all the way to the end. And if I sound like I'm preaching this video, telling you, don't do this, don't do this, I kind of am, okay? I kind of am, because I wish someone would have grabbed me and told me, hey kid, don't do this, okay? Do this and do this. But you know, one thing I've learned is that you cannot judge someone for where they are right now. It takes time though to develop, and you can't rush that, okay? But see you guys later. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. Up here is another video. Over here is my face. Click subscribe. And as always, long-term team officially out. And follow me on Instagram at TommyBryson. Oh, also, social media, be careful with it, okay? Limit your phone time. That's also something in this video. Call it 21. Peace. 21.